visit a Korean restaurant, the road to a flower shop where you can taste 20 different side dishes and delicacies each season. In the World Food Hour, we visited a family restaurant, Outback Steakhouse, where you can enjoy the original taste of Australian steaks made of various sauces and fresh ingredients. Food Lovers Paradise, Cuisine Korea. Hello everyone, I'm Jamie Yee. People who live in big cities tend to be very busy on weekdays. So, on weekends, they drive to nearby suburbs to relax. Now, if you're looking for a place to get away from it all, then you don't have to look any further than today's Korean restaurant. It's a place where nature and delicious cuisine coexist. Let's head on now. Two round-roofed houses made of yellow soil called hwangtojip are located under the mountain. You might think of them as small resort villas, but it's a restaurant called the Road to a Flower Shop. The Bukhangang River flows in the front of the restaurant and trees stand thick in the back. The restaurant is a very famous place for couples to go on dates. Upon entering the restaurant, an arched roof made of yellow soil and scores of flowers captivate your senses. Huge windows, soft sofas, and a pechka creates the right mood.
즐거운 마음으로 찾아가서 받을 때도 즐겁고 준비할 때도 즐겁고 또 줄 때도 즐거운 항상 그 편안하고 즐거운 마음을 느낄 수 있게끔 하기 위해서 꽃집 가는 길이라는 이름으로 지었고요. 그다음에 꽃집 가는 길에 오시면 무엇보다도 그 복잡한 도시에서 벗어나서 그 편안하게 그리고 조용히 그 전원에서 식사를 하실 수 있다는 것, 그것이 가장 좋은 장점이겠고요. 그 다음에 또 하나는 꽃집에 있는 여러 가지 고양이나 동물, 그다음에 토끼들과 함께 즐거운 시간을 함께 보내실 수 있다는 것, 그 역시 장점이라고 생각합니다.
Those who visit the restaurant say that they are first impressed by the atmosphere, next by the flavor of the dishes. Presentation is an important part of the whole dining experience. The restaurant features a variety of dishes which changes each season. Spicy beef tteokbokki, a broiled dish of beef, sliced rice cakes, and various vegetables. Hangari sujebi, a soup with dough flakes with a refreshing and savory taste. These are some of the customers' favorites. Kimchijeon, a pan-fried dough with sour kimchi, is a winner delicacy. And when you drink homemade Korean tea like Cornish fruit tea, omija tea, and shike, it can't get any better. Nothing beats a restaurant with good food and a great atmosphere. This restaurant is famous for its savory taste and refreshing tea. Let's experience the food of the Road to a Flower Shop. If you visit the Road to a Flower Shop, you must try these cuisines. On today's menu, hangari sujebi and beef tteokbokki. Today's chef is Kam Gung-suk, who says always cook from the bottom of your heart like cooking for your children. 꽃집 가는 길 음식만의 특징이 있다면요?
제 식구들이 먹는 것처럼 식구들을 먹일 때처럼 그렇게 정성을 다해서 만들고 있습니다. 모든 음식을.
그러면 첫 번째 만들어주실 요리는 어떤 요리죠?
수제비를 만들어 보고 싶거든요. 근데 수제비는 옛날에는 가난하고 없던 사람들이 먹었었는데 지금은 맛으로 먹는 음식이 돼 있기 때문에 제가 한번 만들어 보고 싶습니다.
네, 시작할까요?
네.
First, prepare various ingredients like flour, potatoes, sea tangle, cabbage, zucchini, and carrots. The dough is one of the most important ingredients in making a chewy and soft sujebi. Put flour, a little vegetable oil, and water in a bowl, then knead, mixing it well. Continue to knead the flour until it no longer sticks to your hands. When it's elastic enough, then the dough for sujebi is complete. Next, it's time for the soup. Cut potatoes in half-moon shapes and put it into a pot. Then put in some sea tangles. Tear oak mushrooms and leave for later use. Cut the cabbage in half and chop it in the same size as those of the oak mushrooms, then leave for later use. Finely cut green peppers and save again for later use. Next, chop the zucchini and put aside with the other vegetables. When the water starts to boil, thinly spread out the mouth-sized piece of dough and put it into the pot. It's important to add these pieces at some intervals so that they don't stick together. Next, put the sliced cabbage, the green onions, carrots, and oak mushrooms into the pot, then stir. Season the soup with salt and boil. When the soup boils enough, place it into a small jar. Lastly, sprinkle some chopped dry laver, then refreshing harangi sujebi is complete.
이번에는 어떤 요리를 만들어 주실 건가요?
떡볶이를 만들어 보겠는데요. 어느 가정이나 떡볶이를 잘 만들어 드시지만 저희 집에서 만드는 떡볶이는 특별히 소스의 맛이 있거든요. 그래서 제가 한번 만들어 보겠습니다.
네, 한번 시작해 볼까요?
네.
First, prepare appropriately sliced rice cakes, boiled fish paste, tangmyeon, and many other vegetables. Next, prepare ingredients for seasoning like hot pepper paste and garlic. When all the ingredients are ready, cut the radish in half and chop. Half a cabbage is just enough. Chop and put it aside for later use. Chop carrots in the same size as that of the radish and put it onto the dish. Also, chop the cucumbers and carrots like the radish, then save for later use. Cut the leek in 8cm length. Now we're ready to make tteokbokki. Cut boiled fish paste triangularly and leave for later use. First, make a sauce for seasoning. Put some vegetable oil and hot pepper paste into a dish and mix. Add ground red pepper and the chopped garlic into it and then continue to mix. If you like to make it more spicy, add more ground red hot pepper depending on your taste. Add a little sugar and mix well. If you like sweet taste, then add more sugar for your favorite sauce for seasoning. When the sauce for seasoning is complete, put the appropriately sliced rice cakes and the sliced beef into a pot with water, then boil. When it boils enough, then add the sliced boiled fish paste. Next, add the seasoning sauce and mix, then continue to boil. Be sure to cook over medium fire instead of high. It's the key to making better tasting tteokbokki. Put the Korean noodles soaked in water into the pot and mix. You can use different kinds of noodles depending on your taste. When it has cooked sufficiently, add glutinous starch syrup and continue to boil. Next, add the vegetables. put the sliced green onions and stone leeks, the chopped cabbages and radishes, then mix. When it has completely cooked, move them onto a dish. Lastly, sprinkle chopped vegetables, sesame salt, and the chopped dry liver on it. Your beef tteokbokki is ready to eat. Regardless of age and gender, Koreans love this hot and sweet taste.
I've been very eager to try these dishes, so without any further ado, the sujebi is very chewy. You might be a little concerned that it might be a little bland, but actually it's very savory. And let me try the broth here. Very soothing. Now let's move on to our second dish. Very nice. The sauce, it's sweet, and it has a spiciness to it that's very appetizing.
With seasonally changing house specialties, it's like home cooking, fresh and cooked right there when you want it. The restaurant was also used for several popular TV dramas. The customers are mostly couples, and it's hard to find an empty table on weekends.
I think the design of this restaurant is very rustic and very comfortable to get away from city life. And the food is excellent. There's such a variety of small dishes, and along with the main dishes as well.
A road to the flower shop is a romantic getaway where you can enjoy a satisfying meal. Now, if you're looking for a place to drive down for some relaxation and some fresh air, then I think this might be the place. Now, let's continue with Look and Taste. Looks good, tastes good. Even the entrance gives off the impression of being at a house in the countryside in a traditional Korean tea house, tashol. Every table and wall is decorated with traditional Korean decorations and antiques. It gives us a feeling of truly being in a countryside.
예술의 전당에서 공연을 보고 난 후에는 여기에 꼭 한 번씩 들리거든요. 먼저 시끄럽지가 않아요. 다른 데보다 시끄럽지도 않게 분위기가 너무 조용해서 좋고요. 그리고 이 집은 차맛이 달라요. 차맛이 이렇게 깊고 은은한 게 그게 너무 좋고요. 그리고 또 우리 일상에서 접해보기 힘든 생활용품들을 여기선 다 볼 수 있거든요. 그래서 아마 자주 찾게 되는 것 같아요.
Black sesame gruel made by grinding rice and black sesame. Once you get a taste, you'll come back for more. The deep fragrance of chrysanthemum tea and the pine leaf tea, known for refreshing the mind, are the most popular teas. Omija tea, which is good for the throat of those who talk a lot. The homemade green tea can only be found at tashol.
Cuisine Korea. What does Australia remind you of? It reminds me of kangaroos jumping up and down and little cute koalas hanging from trees. Today, I'll be taking you to a restaurant where you can enjoy both the beauty and taste of Australia. At this restaurant, there are many different kinds of steaks to choose from. Now, why don't you come with me? The name of the restaurant inspires the unforgettable smell of a delicious steak. It's the family restaurant Outback Steakhouse. You can enjoy the original taste of Australian steaks with a variety of mouth-watering steak sauces. This particular restaurant in Gangnam attracts many young people who visit to enjoy the original taste of Australian steaks.
아웃백이란 푸드식 영어로 오지란 뜻입니다. 그래서 캥거루, 부메랑, 코알라 등 푸드의 야생 자연을 인테리어의 배경으로 한 정통 스테이크하우스를 말하는 것입니다.
The ambient lighting and brown interior creates a comfortable and pastoral atmosphere. The boomerangs hanging on the wall, the various types of picture frames, and the kangaroo dolls make you feel like you're in Australia. The restaurant provides pleasure both in taste and sight. It's a unique feature of this restaurant. Now you can enjoy various different kinds of steaks because Outback Steakhouse has 24 chain restaurants throughout the country. There are many menus to choose from, and I think it's a great opportunity to taste your steak with various sauces to choose from. Now it's time for me to select the dishes for today. They serve over 30 different items on the menu. Some of today's recommended choices at Outback Steakhouse are blooming onion, a worldwide appetizer made of onions, and Rockhampton ribeye, a steak with a unique flavor seasoned with spices made in-house by Outback Steakhouse. Here is today's chef, kitchen manager Kim Sun-hee. She says that her promise to customers is to always make the best dish with the best quality ingredients.
메뉴를 보니까 음식들이 굉장히 많은데요. 첫 번째 요리는 어떤 요리인가요?
예, 저희 아웃백 스테이크하우스에만 있는 에피타이저인데요. 블룸을 특수기계를 이용해서 자른 다음에 프라이어기에 튀겨서 연꽃 모양으로 내는 양파 요리입니다.
First, prepare the ingredients like a big onion, milk, house seasoning, and hot sauce. Begin with the onion. Remove the bottom of the onion and dig out its middle. Next, put the onion into a bloom cutter and give a little pressure to give the onion a lotus shape. Put the onion into ice water. Break 4 eggs and put into a sieve, then stir with a whisk. Then add milk and continue to stir with the whisk. Then mix the sieved egg wash. Take out the onion from the ice water and remove the moisture by shaking the onion several times. Then evenly coat the onion with bloom flour. Repeat it several times. Turn the onion upside down and soak it into the egg wash. Coat it with the bloom flour again and shake off any excess flour not to make a lump. Then place onto a dish and save it for later use. Fry the onion's roots pointed upward at 350 degrees oil. Then turn it upside down and continue to fry until it becomes crispy. Remove the onion from the oil and shake off the oil, then set it upward for any excess oil to drain out. Afterwards, place it onto a dish. When the onion is ready, make the bloom sauce. Add milk and seasoning into a pot and stir with a whisk. Add hot sauce and continue to stir. Add a spoonful of ground horseradish and mayonnaise and then continue to stir with the whisk. Remove the central part of the fried onion and place the bloom sauce in the middle of it. Then the lotus-shaped blooming onion is ready to be served. Tear it one by one and dip it into the sauce. It's a perfect appetizer.
두 번째로 보여주실 요리는 어떤 요리죠?
예, 저희 아웃백 스테이크하우스에서 가장 자랑하는 냉장육 스테이크거든요. 저희 패밀리 레스토랑 계통에서 제일 처음으로 시도해서 요즘에 인기가 아주 좋은 락햄프턴 리바이라고 꽃등심 리바이입니다.
네.
저희 아웃백 스테이크하우스에서는 호주에서 곡물을 사육해서 최상급의 고기만 사용하기 때문에 다른 데서 드실 때보다 훨씬 육즙을 풍부하게 느끼실 수 있고요. 그릴에서 단시간 굽기 때문에 육즙이 빠져나가지 않고 저희 아웃백만의 16가지 양념을 가미한 시즈닝으로 구워서 훨씬 더 맛있답니다.
First, prepare the ingredients like ribeye steak, seasoning, sour cream, and many other vegetables. Next, cut the carrots diagonally and leave it for later use. Slice zucchinis in an appropriate thickness and save for later use also. Also, finely slice cauliflower and place them on a dish. Tear the broccoli in an appropriate thickness and leave for later use. To make the sauce, first put the horseradish and dillweed into a dish with sour cream. Mix with a whisk until it turns white, then the tiger dill sauce is complete. Evenly sprinkle seasoning on the ribeye steak and roast it on the hot grill. Then, press the meat for it to cook well. When both sides turn yellow, place it on a dish. Put the sliced vegetables and 1 piece of butter into a plastic pack and then heat it in a microwave for 1 minute. Place the cooked vegetables on a dish with the roasted beef and tiger sauce. Then the gentle tasting Rockhampton ribeye that was roasted on the grill is ready to be served. The dishes look very appetizing. I will now taste the first dish. I was told that you're supposed to use your hands. Dip it in the sauce. Very unique taste. I could taste all these spices in the batter. It's very crunchy. Delicious. I think kids will enjoy this dish a lot. Okay, now my second dish. Very tender. I think it's cooked to perfection. And the horseradish gives a little bit of a spicy taste, but it's very good. Not only can you enjoy various tastes served with more than 16 sauces, you can enjoy steaks full of fragrance and taste because the steak slowly roasts over the grill without drying it. This is an important feature of Outback Steakhouse. They also serve surf and turf with various meat and seafood dishes on the menu. Toowoomba pasta made with Parmesan cheese, fresh shrimp, and white button mushrooms is served with cream sauce. Kakadu short rib, roasted beef ribs made with seasoned ribs and roasted on the grill. Ribs on the Barbie, a sweet and sour dish made by applying barbecue sauce to pork ribs and roasting over the grill. And Queensland salad served with chicken breast meat and various vegetables and dressing. These dishes are strongly recommended at Outback Steakhouse. There are many different items on the menu, and you have many options to choose from. Many young people and families also visit the restaurant.
친구들이랑 항상 편안하게 들릴 수 있어서 너무 좋고요. 그리고 방문하면 이게 항상 여기 직원분들이 문 앞에서부터 앉은 자리부터 계속 웃으시면서 서비스를 너무 잘해주셔서 기분 좋아서 항상 여기 자주 찾습니다.
제가 개인적으로 립을 되게 좋아하는데 립이 가격에 비해서 양도 되게 푸짐하고 맛도 있고 해서 자주 찾고 있습니다.
As foreign foods become more and more popular in Korea, more Koreans are visiting family restaurants. Why don't you treat yourself to a nice juicy steak and a baked potato today? Cuisine Korea, this is all for today, and I hope to see you again next time.